Hello and welcome to Postdoc Chronicles, week number 11. So I am currently in Prato, Italy. So I just arrived this afternoon for the MCNet generator school, which will be starting tomorrow morning. Okay, but before that, let me relate to you what happened to my sojourn or to my journey in Geneva, Switzerland, specifically in CERN, which I've been visiting last week from for the whole week, Monday to Friday. So basically, my main purpose there is to visit the collaborator of Alan Cornell, a string theorist, and we met, day one, and at the same time, joined some of the seminars of the theory group in CERN, as well as the ongoing LHC conference at CERN. Okay, so the nice thing about in Geneva is that when I arrived at the hotel, and then part of your like booking there is like you get a ticket that's basically a free to ride ticket to all the available public transportations, of course, like around Geneva. So like the bus going from my hotel to CERN every day, it's all free and all. So it was very good. So we met. His name is like David Andriot, and it was very funny because I did not when we met, I did not see him right away because I was when before we met, I didn't know his face. I was expecting like some old dude, like an old guy with white hair. I was so surprised that he was still young. He's doing his third postdoc in CERN, and basically he talked about his work and where Alan and I can come in as a people who do particle physics, because he's like a string theorist, and basically he does some calculations, or doing what he's doing is like he's some sort of reducing dimensions into 4D, and so he would give a Lagrangian to a particle physicist plus some added term, and then it's up to like the particle physicist to interpret what comes out of that Lagrangian the way we do the usual Lagrangians in standard model. Okay, so I also joined like some seminars and sat in some talk. So it's very awesome. I was able to like went inside this very huge auditorium where back in 2012 they announced the Higgs boson. Okay, and it was very good because it's a huge auditorium. Everyone has like a mic, so if you have a question, you just like press the button and then you talk to the mic. Okay, but the nice thing there that I won't forget in CERN is that they have the best bookstore I've ever seen. Okay, and of course the reason is that being CERN, this bookstore sells all physics books, right? So it's like heaven on earth, man. When I went there, but before we look at my my book holes in CERN, the only regret I have currently is that I didn't bring a bigger bag. Like I only, but the books I got so far, it's still plenty, and I think it's the most expensive book haul I ever did, because these are like original physics books. Usually in the Philippines, we only get bootleg copies of this one because no one's actually selling them in the Philippines, right? Because the demand is very limited in our country. But in CERN, it's like it's there. And the nice thing is, if the book that you're looking for is not there, they can like order it for you, and they'll be like, okay, we'll just inform you. And in fact, one of the books that I got, they did that. They ordered it Monday, and then I got it like Thursday or something like that. Okay, but first day I went to CERN, I so when you like get out of this bus, you're greeted with this big globe of innovation, like a big globe, and then there's like a sculpture with names of the physicists and their contributions written in their, I think, in their own national language, which was very cool. I took a video of it. I got myself, I asked some guy to take my picture there, because it's always been my dream to see CERN in action. But one of the first things that you do when you go there is you go to the reception. Then they give you this insane map, man, and it makes you appreciate how huge CERN really is. And the nice thing is, all the roads here are like named after uh, physicists. Like route Curie, route Dirac, and so on. And yeah, but most of my time I spent in building, I believe it's building number 4, where the theory building is located. But you can spend like the whole week, you know, looking around everywhere, man. And obviously, I didn't do that. Like, I didn't get the luxury of going around, like, because it's a very big complex. But anyway, they also got this, I think, monthly or bi-monthly magazine in CERN called the CERN Courier. And of course, it's a very nice exposition of the different researches, the current researches and updates that are being done in CERN. So this is for free. I got the, like, just every littered everywhere. You just pick it up for free. So I got the June 2018 one, and I also got the July and August 2018 one. So this one I haven't read yet. The June one I've read. And wait a minute, I forgot something before. I forget. I always wanted to get this T-shirt. It's in my baggage, but this one is the infamous Lagrangian T-shirt. In CERN. So it's like the Lagrangian of the standard model printed in the front. You can also get a mug. Unfortunately I didn't find it. Of course, if you buy a book, you also get for free a. Let me show you. You also get for free a bookmarker, and it's a very cool bookmarker because again, it's also like the has the standard model Lagrangian with the explanations there in English, as well as the explanation in French. Okay, so you get that for free when you buy books. And another thing is that you get this thing called, so if you're a particle physicist, this again is for free. It's like a mini Bible of if you're a particle physicist, and it's called the particle physics booklet, and it lists all the very important stuff, like information about all the leptons or all the measurements regarding the mesons and baryons and so on. So like as Griffith said, you should always, if you're a particle physicist, you should always have this with you because what if like one day a guy on the street will be like, oh hey, are you a particle physicist? Can you tell me the lifetime of the delta plus plus? And you're like, oh shit. So you can like look for it here, and everything here is written. So it's like this one is like updated every like even number of years, so like 2014, 2016, they churn out this free printed copies. And this is a small version, so if you want the whole thing, the complete thing, it has a PDF, so review of particle physics. It's 1800 pages. It's huge, man. But this like a small mini version that you can always take with you. Okay, but the nice thing is, of course, I wasn't satisfied with that. You also get for free, if you really want the big one, this one. Okay, so this is not the 1800 page version. This is only like 1000 pages, but still it's more comprehensive than the mini one. Okay, so it's something that nice to have in your like bookshelf or something. So it has like a very concise review of the things you need in particle physics, like QCD, QED, and so on. And at the same time, it contains everything that this has and then some. Okay, and again, it's for free, man. It's just, you just go in the library. They're just like everywhere outside. You just pick one, right? It's for free. It's very good, and also smells very nice, and the paper is also glossy and all. Okay, so those are the free ones. But again, let's go to the main course, the books that I actually paid for. And like I said, this is the most expensive book haul that I ever did. And one of these books is like the most expensive book that I ever bought. Okay, but man, no regrets. Okay, the first one is, of course, one of the nutshell series, the standard model in a nutshell. So this a an introductory particle physics book at the level of like Griffith. So there are some things that Griffith explains better, but there are some things that are explained better here than Griffiths. And I like the what do you call this, the way Goldberg, I believe is the author, is, yeah, the way he arranged the different topics is really good. And if ever I'll have I'll give a course on introductory particle physics, it will be based on this one, at least the flow. Okay, so it will be a combination of this one and Griffiths, but mostly the flow will follow this one. So this is very good. Like I'm like reading this. It's again, it's introductory. I'm already in like chapter 9, but yeah, it's very well written, and it's 65 Swiss francs. That's expensive, man, but still, it's good. But of course, if you want to have like standard model for big boys, okay, I got myself so this one of the things that I'm gonna need to study in depth, the standard model and beyond. So this is by Paul Langacker, and he has like a series of standard model lectures in YouTube, which is based on this textbook. So the funny thing is, so this is 50 Swiss francs. This was published in 2009. This is the first edition. The second edition is already in the CERN bookshop, right? It's published just this year, I think, or last year, 2017. And of course, since the Higgs was discovered in 2012, so that one, the second edition, contains an updated version of the Higgs discussion as well as some additional problems. But the thing is, that one costs twice this one. It's like 100 Swiss francs. This is just 50. So I'm like, so wait a minute, do I really need the second edition? So I'm like, I do have a PDF copy of this one. It only adds like a single chapter and then just updated a few of them. So I'm like, if I really need that, I'm just gonna look at the PDF for the updated chapters and then still use this one for my main reference. The other reason that's why I didn't get the second edition is it's actually bigger than this one, right? This is very handy. It looks so cute and all. Um, the second edition is bigger, and also, for some weird reasons, the printing, the ink was like, it's like grayish. It wasn't printed very well. So yeah, so I got this one instead for like half the price. And again, this is like standard model for big boys. It even includes BSM, beyond the standard model physics. And Paul Langacker, so in his introduction, he says that if you're reading this, he assumes that you know QFT already, quantum field theory, okay? Which, of course, leads me to the next book that I got, okay? So one of the QFT books that I bought, I brought with me when I went to, of course, the bootleg one, when I went to Johannesburg, it's the Quantum Field Theory by Shrednicki. But then I realized that, I prefer the Peskin and Schroeder much better. So I got this one. And this is actually, I believe, 70 or 75 Swiss francs. Let me check that. It's actually 75 Swiss francs, right? So it's hardbound, and again, this is the book that they had to order. They ran out of copies when I asked for it, so they're like, "Are you willing to order?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." So it's 75 Swiss francs, so that's like more than 4,000 pesos. Again, the most expensive book that I ever read. And again, this is one of the things that I need to, like I said before in my Chronicles, Jong like asked me to read like different chapters from this book, but I want to read it like from cover to cover so that my QFT knowledge is not what do you call this, is not scattered everywhere. So I want to study this, and of course, if you have the original copy, the glossy pages and all, man, it's very cool. It's a classic text in quantum field theory. And finally, the last book is the cheapest one that I got. It is 30 Swiss francs. It's actually a popular book in standard model. It's written by Martinus Veltman, who is of course a Nobel Prize awardee, together with George Tihoff. Tihoff is actually his PhD student. Okay, so this was Tihoff's advisor. And the nice thing about this one is this is a very well written account of particle physics without the mathematics. Okay, and that's why I bought this book, is because I actually already read the whole thing when I was in college back in Silliman. So Silliman University has a copy of this one. Okay, and I was really so fascinated. That was like the first time I encountered particle physics when I read this book. Okay, but the first edition of this one was published I think 2000, early 2000, way before the Higgs boson was discovered. So just this year, May 2018, they released a revised edition, which now includes a discussion of the Higgs boson and the Higgs mechanism. So the copy that I have here is even better than, I don't know if the Silliman library was able to update their copy, but this even better because this is like the revised edition and it includes a discussion on Higgs. The thing that I don't like about this is that they just added like a chapter on Higgs, and then I'm reading it again. In the first part, they still say, the Higgs is he's not yet discovered. So it's like they did not update the first edition. They just added a an additional chapter regarding the Higgs. So which is like, I don't know, it was a bit lazy, but still one of the great laymanized book on particle physics that you can get out there. I think it rivals that of Abraham Pais's book on particle physics as well, which is Inward Bound. Okay, so those are the books that I got so far in CERN. Obviously, that's like a lot. So obviously, I did not like get them like in a single day. So like, I became like a regular customer, in the library. So it's like Monday I buy one book, and then the next day, so like people there like already knew me. Like I'm this guy who always comes back and buy these books. Okay, so that's really very nice, and this it's what made my travel to Italy today very hard because they're actually heavy, but still it's worth it. Yeah. So again, so from Geneva, so like I said in my previous postdoc chronicles, I did eat a lot of McDonald's because I was given like a daily allowance for my meals and so on. But what I did is I chipped out on my meals and other expenses so that I can spend the rest of the money for these books. Okay, so that's where the rest of the per diem went. Okay, and I think it's really worth it, right? So in fact, in my like last day in Geneva, I just for curiosity, because I was eating the McDonald's in like near the airport, and I thought it's really expensive when you order the big and tasty one. I spend like, if you convert it to Philippine peso, it's like around 700 pesos. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I thought maybe it's expensive because it's in the airport. So I looked for another McDonald's that was away from the airport, but still the price was the same. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the price is just really like that. The peso is just weak. I'm not sure. But yeah, in my last day in Geneva, I was like eating in this McDonald's. It was very good, because in the Philippines, sometimes if you eat, there are like a lot of flies, and then you shoo the flies away from your food. There, the nice thing about there is like there are a lot of house birds that when you're eating, they just go near you, man, and it's insane. They just like, you just feed them a little bit of the bread, and they're like a lot of them will come to you and eat your food with you. So it was very cool. So from Geneva, Geneva is, if you look at the map, it's actually near the France, the French border. So most of the people there speak French, and I got to say, man, French is a very beautiful language. Like the lip control, the way they control the nasal and the tongue, it is very good. So like, if you listen to this clip right here that I have.
Vous étiez tellement passionné par le jeu que vous pouviez être mauvais perdant. Ben, je ne l'ai jamais vu ça. C'est pas grave, je suis mauvais. En tout cas, on peut applaudir Sébastien pour ces 3 victoires d'affilée à la question pour un super champion. Ce magnifique parcours. Christian, première victoire. Donc vous êtes ce soir à 4 marches de la cagnotte de super champion, donc de 50 000 euros. 50 000 euros sur la cagnotte. Et on retrouve Christian la semaine prochaine. Sébastien, Christian, viens avec moi.
Vamos fazer uma sessão ponte de filme, tá? 5 anos, uma sessão.
Vous êtes battre un grand champion. On retrouve donc Christian pour la suite.
Man, a very beautiful language. So I've heard like German being spoken because April's my girlfriend's cousin Michael, he's Austrian. They speak German with his girlfriend, and it's good and all. And Italian, yeah, I've heard it today. But French, I think if I were to rank them, it's like French, and then German, and then Italian. Yeah, French is just a very beautiful language. But anyway, yeah. So this morning, I woke up early because I had to ride the train going to Italy. So it has always been my dream to ride the European train around Europe. And in fact, the when I was requesting for my funding going coming here, the guy who was approving it is like, are you sure you want like a train from Italy to from Switzerland to Italy? You can he said, are you sure you want a train? You can like request for an airplane instead. It will be like less hassle, and it will be faster. And I'm like, no, I always I wanted to try to ride the train. And of course, no regrets, man. I was able to like uh uh, read a book, while riding the this train, and then I was able to play a video game, and of course I was able to listen to heavy metal while like coasting along the European railway. So, and I was able to see, the beautiful landscape of Europe. So initially it was like the suburbs, the city of Geneva, and then cut into like the fields, and then these small towns in going all the way to Italy. And the nice part is like when the train like cuts into the mountain, and you see all this very amazing landscape, very amazing views of European lakes and the forest and so on. It was amazing, so I didn't regret riding the train at all. Okay. And yeah, so that's what I did, and I arrived like just this afternoon. And of course, it when I arrived here, it rained so hard, and so I had to like stay at this like mini burger place where I ate my lunch. I had to wait for a while for the rain to stop, and then I walked to this hotel. And also I walked around, trying to look for I the university that will be doing the school tomorrow is a walking distance from here. It's like around 10 minutes walk. So I went and looked for that. I also looked for a McDonald's, but it's further away, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to visit it. But the nice thing is there's also a very it's called a game track. It's a video game store that is very near this place and also near the university. So I think if I have time, I'm going to visit that place tomorrow. So, but I don't know if I'm gonna have any time because the school it's over at 8 p.m. Okay. So I like went around in Italy. So I don't know, maybe because it rained, but my hotel is near a river. But I don't know, man. When I went down the train, Italy is hype like, oh, very nice. Like the view is very nice and so on. But maybe it's because of the hard rain. When I went, I saw the river. It's like, man, it looks like the Banica river in Bagakay, in like back in my place in Dumaguete City. I'm not even kidding. Like I can maybe take a picture of it like tomorrow. It looks like that. So yeah, I don't know what the hype is about. So maybe I'm in the wrong place in Italy. But yeah, the background is nice. But yeah, the river, maybe because of the rain, it looked kind of disappointing. So I'm gonna look at it again tomorrow. Maybe it will recover and look better. But yeah, I walked around. The streets are really good. I saw this like castle near the university that I'm gonna be going to. So there's like a castle and a church around it, and like some restaurants and so on. And yeah, so I walked around there like after I rested for a while, so that I won't be lost tomorrow because the school starts early tomorrow. Okay. So I think that's it for my 11th Postdoc Chronicles, and I'm gonna update you next time. So after what happens in this school in Prato, Italy, and of course also this weekend, I'm gonna be going to on Friday just after the school. I'm flying straight to Poland to watch the Iron Maiden concert over the weekend. Okay, and then back to the Geneva, and then to Johannesburg. Okay. So this has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 11, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.